going to my first concert alone.
One deep breath. I move a little bit closer. I move a little bit closer.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm like pretty nervous. I've really been getting into this practice of really wanting to listen to my heart more and like act more on what my heart desires. And so sometimes that takes me to surprising places, and this is one of those. So I got the ticket and was like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna go. And I don't know, I think it just kind of brings up a lot of feelings for me because I've lived where I live now for, 2.5 years. And then before this, I lived in DC. And I still live close to DC, but what's different is that literally all my friends that I made moved away during the pandemic, which I feel like I'm still, I don't know, just like kind of hurt about because it is hard to make friends as an adult. And when I first moved out to the area, I feel like I had such a vibrant social life. Like I met some really, really cool girls right away. We really hit it off. We'd get together all the time. We'd go out. One of my closest friends lived out here also. So I feel like I just naturally had like a pretty vibrant social life. And then when the pandemic hit, everybody moved away. And I never quite got that friend group back up again because everybody left, to different places, to Florida, to Colorado, to California, all these different places. And none of those friendships were really strong enough outside of my closest friend that I've had forever. Like none of those friendships were really close enough to really like make it through the pandemic. They were kind of like going out friends and things like that. So then I moved, outside of the city, and my focus has really been on just like settling in here and, making a home and all of that good stuff, which has been so, so nourishing, so wonderful. But the other side of that is I don't really have friends that I like feel like I can call up and talk to. And I'm not gonna lie, it is something that makes me really sad. And it's also something that makes me feel like really self-conscious, like even telling people, that I was going to this concert by myself. Like I try to say it in a way that's empowering, and there's a lot of me that feels that way where I'm like, yeah, I can totally keep myself company. Like I love spending time with myself, and I do. But there's also another part of me that just feels kind of like a loser about it. So I've been kind of going back and forth with it all day and just kind of like feeling that. And yeah, hold on just a second. I gotta do something here. There we go. I had to clip my hair up. I'm going for kind of like, a cool 90s-esque vibe. I was gonna straighten this part, but you know what? I actually have really been enjoying my wavy hair lately. So I might actually just keep it like this. I think that there's just a lot of feelings that come up about this, and I just kind of start to feel like a loser sometimes, which I know is not true. My community and like my close friends just aren't where I physically live, and that can be really difficult. I think especially as an adult, and I guess I get really self-conscious, especially where I live now, because where I live now, a lot of the people that live here, have grown up here, have been here for a really long time. And so they have really established communities, but I do get the question a lot, like, oh, do you have any friends out here? And I'm always like, I don't really. And I've tried like different things, and something I'm working on is, finding activities, for example, that are aligned with my interests so that I'm also connecting with people that are more aligned with, I don't know, just like the things that I'm interested in, and we can have that kind of authentic connection. Because something for me that I've learned is like sometimes in the desire to connect with other people and like make friends, sometimes I feel like I abandon myself. And I just want that like camaraderie and company so bad that I more so adhere to like what their interests are or talk about what they're interested in without really like bringing my authentic self in. And I'm really trying not to do that. But I'm also trying to put myself out there. So it's kind of, it's just a process. So hold on a second. Gotta get this. I guess something else that I've been thinking about is just like what different company looks like. I've really been taking the time, I would say, like over the last 10 years is when my self-love journey began. And I've really been taking that time to really just get to know myself and get comfortable in my own company. And I really, really do love hanging out with myself. When I was growing up, I was so lucky because I grew up with like 2 older siblings that I'm super, super close with. And I never had a lack of company. Like, I was always surrounded by other kids to play with, and I made friends super duper easily. So when my siblings left, like for college and left home, it was really, really hard for me. And I spent a lot of time with friends, and that was really wonderful. And then flash forward to like post college, I entered kind of a really intense healing era, where I stopped drinking, I stopped like smoking and all these things that kind of created like not a rift, I would say, but I just wasn't aligned with like what a lot of my friends were wanting to do. Not because I cared what they did, but it was like not good for my mental health to go out drinking all the time. And so I feel like part of that experience was kind of an experience of like isolation. But I feel like it was all to kind of learn how to just be with myself and get to know myself. And it was really hard. Like, I remember the first couple times that I just spent by myself, I was so distraught because I just didn't know what to do with myself, and especially being left alone in my mind, and it was just really tough. So since then, I've been really intentional about taking myself like on self-love dates, doing, finding things that I'm really interested in, and I really love that. I really, really enjoy my own company. But the other side of that is I really miss sometimes the side of me that can really only come out in the company of others and in the company of like really good friendships. So, I really do my best to try to like see friends who live far away and like family who live far away, but I definitely do crave that like local community where I am. And sometimes I just get really judgmental of myself, and I really question whether or not sometimes I've gotten like too comfortable even with my own company, where maybe sometimes I get too withdrawn from the social world because I have just gotten used to that, and then I just get really sad. So I don't know. I feel like the question of like friendship and community and all of these things is really triggering for me. And it's an area that I'm just recognizing more and more that I have to heal, because I honestly can't always tell what's in my head and what's reality with when it comes to friendship and community and these kinds of things. I had some really pretty traumatic friendship experience when I was a teenager, and I think that's made it a lot harder to like connect on a deeper level with a lot of people. Fortunately, I do have really great close friends, but it definitely does make it harder for me to ignite those new friendships and like build up that trust. And I know that part of that is just like time, but I also think that there's a real internal block that I would like to work on just releasing and softening a little bit, because I think it does hold me back, and I think that it's not fair to myself and it's not fair to others or the world if I'm like holding myself back a little bit. And that's a balance too, right? Because even with that, I think that there was a time in my life when I was younger when I was so trusting of other people and really kind of blindly so. And that led to some really amazing experiences, like especially when I was traveling the world and like staying in different hostels. You know, I traveled and lived around South America and Italy and all these places. And it was so easy for me to connect, and I'd go off on these like wild adventures that I look back on and I'm like, oh my God, that was so bold. But the other side of that is it also got me into some really like dangerous situations, and I ended up being around people that were not good to be around, and I was overly trusting. And so I think the last, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 years, the pendulum kind of swung the other way, where I feel like I just really had to close down and heal my internal self and my relationship with like my core people, like my family and my romantic relationship and that kind of thing. But now I feel like I want to get out there, and I definitely just feel like I do come up against this block sometimes that can be really just kind of intense, to be totally honest with you. I have been really enjoying the trend of using lipstick as like blush, so I'm gonna do that now, and I'm gonna wear some red lipstick. Oh yeah. So anyway, I know I am rambling, but I think I'm also just nervous, and I also just wanted to make this because like I feel like there are so many other people that are in this situation or are struggling with making friends, you know, like in their 20s and their 30s, after there's kind of that structure of, you know, high school and college, and then you're out in the world and you're working and you're balancing your maybe romantic relationship, and maybe you're dating, maybe you're married, maybe you're single, but there's so many other things that are being juggled. And you're changing, you're evolving, and these things are just harder. And I think we've also gotten to a place in society where people have retreated a lot more. I think a lot of that is due to, you know, the collective trauma we all experienced during the pandemic. I think that's due to us being more attached to our devices. A lot of us just being burnt the fuck out and like exhausted with the pressures of the world and demands of the world. And I feel like there's so much gatekeeping with community and friendships because things are so expensive now too. You know, like I remember when I lived in Italy, it was so amazing because any given night you could go out to the piazza and like grab a gelato, some wine, just stroll around. People of all ages were out, but it was a free thing to do. There was no barrier to entry. And so there was this access to community that we don't have a lot of places here. And so I think that's part of it too, where you have to put so much more effort into like planning, like paying for things, coordinating schedules, all this stuff, to the point where it just gets so overwhelming that people just don't do it. And I found myself in that category too, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But then the other side of that is, you know, your emotional side and your spiritual and soulful side that really needs to connect with other people, that really needs that connection, that human connection. And so I feel like that's a block too that I'm trying to kind of like overcome, at least for myself. So anyway, let me get this lipstick going on. Cannot screw around with red lipstick. Okay, see, it's so cute. Like, it seems so intense. It's so cute. Trust me, watch. I wish I had better lighting in here, but that's okay. So anyway, that's my rant about getting out there, friendships, doing things by myself, trying to be open to the world. And what else? Oh my goodness. So let's talk about my outfit, because I had literally the cutest outfit planned for this event. I got this really adorable like razorback tank that was kind of a crop top and showed like a little bit of under boob, but it was too risky. I was like, my kids are gonna fly the F out if I'm at a concert, and I can't take my pepper spray in, so I just shouldn't have that. But I had that, and then I got this really cool looking like squiggly cool skirt, like a marble pattern skirt, and I have these awesome cowboy boots my mom gave me, and these cool glasses, and this like suede fringe jacket. Like the vision in my mind of this outfit is so cute. When I put it on, I was like, there is no way I can go out in this by myself. Like, I will feel so uncomfortable. Like, I think I'd feel more comfortable if I were going with a group of friends or a group of girls, or even my husband. But because I'm going by myself, I was like, I just need to wear something that is cute, but also that I'm going to be comfortable in. So I'll show you the full outfit here in a second, but I just got this from a thrift store. I'm wearing these cute, like, aloe leggings that are kind of shiny that my friend got me, and some really cute cowboy boots, and these great sunglasses. But I feel like this is the other thing with being a girl, is like, it's always such a challenge with getting dressed. It's like, like, why do men have to exist and predators exist? We'd all dress so freaking hot. It's just crazy. But anyway, here we are. Also, like, I think the thing that I'm most nervous about is not actually the concert itself. Like, I feel like at the concert, there's going to be people there and a lot of, like, eyes. What I'm most scared about is, like, walking back to my car by myself, and, like, this is just the joy of being a woman, of being a girl, but I can't take my pepper spray with me, so I'm like, okay, I have, like, a flashlight, an alarm, like, do I try to get, somebody to try to walk me back, but I don't know anybody, so this is the conundrum, but we're gonna be fine. This is also, I feel like, why I do want to put some effort into getting ready, because I feel like that always creates like an energetic protection. It's so funny too what trends come back into fashion, because when I was a kid, I loved doing my hair like this, and then I stopped for so long. And now it's all coming back, and I'm really just embracing it. It's the best. Let's freaking try these eyelashes. Okay, so these ones, you put them at the corner of your eye, which I think is really cute, because I have found that, like, the full eyelashes just don't really look that good on. No, they look good on me, but they just don't fit my eyes. Like, my eyes are a little bit smaller, I think. So let's try these. Give me a hot sec. I genuinely do not know how girls do this. Like, I feel like there just continues to be girly things that I learn that I'm like, girls are freaking magic. Like, how do we just do all of this shit? I think I did. Oh my god, cute! Wow, I actually love it. The lighting is not good here, but you can kind of see it's very cute. All right, fam, we are getting ready. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Also, I have work tomorrow. Oh my god. This is the other thing. I also feel like I have been a lot more intentional about creating fun, even if it's like inconvenient or causes something else in my life to go out of balance. Because, if you just work and that's it, what the frick is the point of life? It's just depressing. It really is. So, yeah, you gotta have fun. And you know what? My grandma passed earlier this year, and since then, it's been really hard, and there's been a lot of grief, and I feel like I've also just had to push myself more to embrace life and to create fun and new experiences and new memories, because otherwise I would just be stuck in this, like, very intense state, and it's been kind of a battle, there's also an honoring of that grief and whatnot, but I also think that if you're able to and you can, and again, everybody's different, everybody's circumstance is different, but for me, it's been very helpful to get out and do things, because otherwise I would just be consumed, to be honest. That actually reminds me, I think the last time I was with my grandma, one of the last times I was putting on lipstick, and she was like, oh, do you ever use like a brush? And she told me how she used to use a brush to put on her lipstick, and I just thought that was so cool. Wow, I cannot tell you how proud I am that I got these freaking eyelashes to work. I was manically trying to put them on for work one day, even though who the frick needs to wear them to work? I think I was just, whatever. and it was truly just an absolute disaster. Let's go figure out what jewelry to wear, and then I'll show you my full outfit, and then we're gonna go. Not the best angle, but I wanted to show you my full outfit, so I decided to go with these earrings. These are my really cool cowboy boots that were my mom's that she just recently gave me. So, ta-da! Here I am. We're going to a concert by myself, and I am so nervous, but you gotta keep living, right? Even if you're doing things by yourself, and you never know where things could lead. All right, wish me luck. We finally made it. Hopefully I'm not going to get towed or anything because I'm not parking where I am supposed to, because all of the parking spaces are full. And I'm just going to touch up my makeup and go. I'm really rethinking this red lipstick idea, but you know, I've already committed, so that's that. All right, off we go. I think I'm going to get going.
Keep it in line. You say you wanna move on. You say I'm falling behind.
I just got out of the concert and oh, it was so much fun. Wow, I can't wait to share more about it. It was so great. I no longer feel like a loser. Hello? Could I do a 6-piece chicken McNugget Happy Meal, please? Okay, I finally made it home. And there's nothing I want to do more than just curl up in bed and go to bed, go to sleep, but I'm so hungry. I did not eat that much before the show, so I got McDonald's, my favorite order. I know what you're thinking, like, who the frick eats at McDonald's on a dish, but it took 20 minutes to get to the McDonald's that was open, and then another 20 minutes to get home, so it's so cold, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it was a terrifying drive home. I absolutely freaking hate driving on the highways, and that works well for me like 80% of the time. Oh my god, I look crazy. But I usually drive in the daytime. I don't usually drive at night. And so I was on all these kind of terrifying, like, back roads. I couldn't even see the freaking, like, road lines, and, it was just, like, it was very stressful. So, I was not pleased, but I had to get McDonald's. I was so starving. I had already paid, like, a stupid amount for a drink at the concert when I first got there. So, I was like, I refuse to buy food and overspend. So, I'm just gonna get trusty old McDonald's and call it a night. I'm not gonna lie. On the way home, I did get a little bit in my feels, just like missing family, missing friends, and I had such a good time. And, you know, something that really helped me be in the moment a little bit more is when the music started, I just like pictured my loved ones next to me and how they would be doing, like how they would be dancing and what their facial expressions would be. And I could really feel that energy from within, and it just made me feel like, wow, no matter where I go, even when my loved ones aren't with me physically, they're always with me in spirit, and I can always channel that. So I was thinking of my husband and my brother and my sister and my mom and my parent. And yeah, I just got, and like even friends of mine and friends from back in the day, and that was kind of like the crazy nostalgic thing too about seeing The Killers in particular is talk about unlocking just so many memories, honestly, that I completely forgot about, like memories of friends and people that I don't talk to anymore, but had shared like a significant time with, or a pivotal time in my life with. And yeah, it's just kind of wild. So I don't know, it was really beautiful. It definitely helped to like channel my loved ones. It really helped to connect with the energy of the other people there. Like when I would see them having a really good time, I allowed myself to soak up that energy, or also soak up the energy of the Killers, Brandon Flowers, like the other bands that were there before them. And that was really fun. I feel like live music just is honestly so spiritual. Like, I think that's why I like live music so much. But it was great. I am not looking forward to going to work tomorrow, but it is what it is, and you have to keep living. And I would definitely recommend people to go to concerts, even if they go alone. I was really nervous. I actually ended up talking to some people who were super nice. There was one girl who was like high-fiving everybody, and I talked to them for a little bit and sat with them. I ended up moving because where they were sitting was really hard for me to see. But, it was just nice to have that social interaction also. I am proud I went. It's definitely like a fluctuation of different emotions, but I don't know. Lots to think about, but it felt good. I was happy that I went, and I gotta go to bed. I'm rambling too much. Good night.
We hope you enjoy your stay. Outside the sun is shining. It seems like heaven ain't far away. And it's good to have you with us, even if it's just for